25 extra coaches on the field because everyone's come back.
Right.
With the wide receiver group as a whole, do you feel like having guys who have been a part of this will help you be more productive this year based on what you've seen in the spring?
Yeah, definitely. I think just the knowledge of the offense in general, knowing what you're supposed to do at the right time in the right moment, and then also being able to tell guys who maybe don't know as well, maybe the new guys, some of the transfers, some of the freshmen, being able to coach them up on the fly. I think it helps us more as a unit, and then we're just more mature in the offense as well, knowing what we're supposed to be, knowing where the quarterback wants us to be. I think that helps. I think that all goes into like being a good offense, and so just having that like last spring, last fall, and then also a season under our belt, it definitely goes to our advantage for sure.
CJ, Coach Guyton just said you look to add on a few pounds this year or this offseason. How has that maybe kind of transformed the way you're playing a little bit?
Yeah.
And also, he also talked about slot, outside versatility. Do you maybe see yourself playing a little more in versatile role this year?
Yeah, definitely. The off season for me was primarily getting faster, getting stronger, getting bigger. So I put on probably 12 pounds, got a lot faster. I feel like got more explosive, more athletic, and so that was my biggest goal this off season, and I accomplished it. And it's allowed me to play in the slot and kind of work in there, and I've been able to do that in the spring, catch a couple balls in there. Obviously at USC I played slot, like specifically there. Came here and played outside for us, so looking to be able to do both. I feel like when I play at the next level in the NFL, if I get the chance to do that, it may be in the slot, so I want to be able to do both and still kind of stay active.
What's the major difference going between being on the outside where you've been, last year and
Definitely.
most of it, then compared going back to the slot, specifically within this offense?
I think a lot of it's matchups. Like if you're looking at it from a broad aspect of like an offense, right? You're playing a different type of player on the outside. I would think the corner is probably a better covered guy, right? Safeties, nickels. I think nickel's the hardest position on the field because you got a two-way go, all that stuff. But corners are probably the better covered guys. You see them in the NFL. All of them are pretty elite. And then you're playing against safeties and nickels when it comes to in the slot. And also, I just think angles change. And that's in this offense. You see it a lot, whether it's on the route you run, the angle you come out of, when you depart, you're coming flatter, you're taking it higher. So I just think angles change. And schematically, things are a little bit different in the slot. You got to think a little bit more for sure.
When you look back at your first season here, how do you view, what you did, your performance, what do you think you did well?
Yeah.
What were the areas that you thought could have been better?
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a lot to learn. I think this was definitely a learning year for me this last year. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of things coming in and out of the forest. And I think that's life in general. I think life is like you're coming in, you're coming out of the forest, you're kind of going through adversity and all those things. And it definitely caused me to like mature and grow up and look at things from a different perspective. I became a way better football player, I think, from when I walked in here last spring. I think this spring showed that. And then also just having the ability to put my head down and work, whether things are going my way or not going my way. And that's something I'm taking pride in right now. So just a learning experience, right? I think I've gotten better as a football player, which is the ultimate goal for me, is right when I leave after my fourth year, to be able to say I'm a better football player than I was when I came in to college. So.
What are some of you think where do you think you improved besides physically?
Physically, I think route running wise too. You see a different type of DB in the Big Ten than I think the Pac-12, and that's why I say physically you need to improve a little bit. Like Pac-12 defensive backs are skinnier, lengthier guys who are maybe quicker. The Big Ten guys. The Big Ten guys are looking to put their hands on me and cover too. So I think the physical aspect and just learning how to play against both of them. Like last year, that was probably the learning curve for me midway through the year once we got into Big Ten play was. These guys are sitting here in cover two, trying to put two hands on. That's not something you see a whole lot in the Pac-12. They're skinnier guys that are trying to run with you and run with you vertically. So route running, just learning. I think that's something that helped me. And then also just grabbing the niche to, especially I've done this in the spring, I feel like a lot more, is make the play that's not always perfect. You're not always going to run the perfect route. You're not always going to be in the best position based on scheme and whatever coverage you're going against. So being able to make the play when you're going against that is like specific things.
What are some of the things that have stood out about Tyler Van Dyke throughout spring, especially as he got more comfortable?
Yeah, I think it's his knowledge of football. I think that's the biggest thing for him. I think he's still coming to his own in the offense for sure. He's still adjusting, but regardless of the adjustments and all those things, you can definitely tell he knows football and he knows where he wants to put it and like what on time when he wants to put it. I think that's like a consistent trait you need to see in a good quarterback is like throwing the ball on time and making consistent throws. I think that's something he does pretty well.
One of the strongest competitions we've seen is at that outside receiver spot.